and welcome to Dear Katie, the podcast that amplifies courageous voices and real stories of resilience, healing, and hope after trauma. Inspired by the many letters Katie has received over the last 20 years, each week she interviews survivors, healers, and experts to honor their stories and explore the many paths to healing and hope. Before we begin, please know, many episodes of Dear Katie cover sensitive topics related to sexual violence, trauma, and recovery. Listen with care and take the space you need to take care of yourself. Your well-being is what matters most. Now, let's join Katie and today's guest for a conversation that matters.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Dear Katie podcast. As you all know, my name is Katie Koestner, and I have been journeying alongside all of you, my wonderful listeners, for quite some time. And each and every one of our guests, I think, just reveals one more idea, one more concept, one more story, one more powerful way that we can all heal and thrive together. Please, as I always say, self-care is the most important thing. We will be right here when you get back. If you want to take a break, get some fresh air. I always say, run really fast, do some cartwheels, chocolate, whatever works for you. But absolutely every single moment we spend and think, and hopefully a lot of you are journaling along, because I feel like each and every one of my guests has been giving us just a downfall of a rainstorm of ideas. And I'm certain that Becky will be the same. So I will just share just two little bits about Becky, and then we will start right at the beginning and go from there. So Becky Nulle is a full-time student, and she also works full-time. She lives in a rural area in Wisconsin. She owns a Doberman and ducks. How cool is that?
Yeah.
She has the best husband, she writes, in all the world. She also has completed 2 marathons. She has a son and a grandson, and she spends each and every day waking up thinking about something that she can be grateful for. So welcome to the show, Becky. We are so delighted to have you.
Thank you so very much for having me. This means so much to me. I'm excited to be here to explain why my story took a long time to come out, and how I came about the decision to share my story.
Absolutely. I mean, we're on the edge of our seats. Like, you just the movie shall begin. And that it's like one of those 3 words openers for a great book. But we're here for you. So I think, I always like to say, where did you grow up? How many siblings? Did you have parents, no parents? What was the whole, when you were young, like?
Sure. So Katie, I'm in my late 50s, and I grew up on the west side of Chicago, which was predominantly Black. My mother, though I was of a mixed marriage, my mother was white and my father was Black. I had one sister at the time, and she was about 3 years younger than me. I was older. I was the oldest. We lived in a neighborhood that only had maybe 3 families that had a white person in the at that time. Yeah, it was interesting growing up because you didn't quite know where you fit in, but in the end, I know where I am now. So for the longest time, I didn't like being both, but now I'm with the work that I've done, and you really have to do the work. I'm grateful for who I am.
Yeah, well, we're all special and unique. I mean, that's the beauty of human beings. You know what I mean? We get to be a whole bunch of different parts, and they come from many places. So,
Exactly.
now, and you said, what city were you in?
Sure, I was in Chicago. Chicago is. We started out on the.
It's got
Yes,
5.
it's only 3. Yeah, the lake is east, and then we were west, and then we end up moving later northwest. So we moved we were young. When we were young, we lived in an all Black area except for a few families. And then we moved to the northwest side of Chicago, which was mostly white, maybe 10% Hispanic. Chicago is pretty segregated and can be, it was interesting.
Okay. And how old were you guys when you moved? How old were you when you went from the west to the northwest?
I believe I was around 8 years old.
Okay. And your sister was 3 years younger.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So you move at 8. So that's like middle school, right? Like
Yeah.
starting middle school, maybe?
Yeah, we'd moved around a lot. Before, in between I think we lost the home that we had on the west side, and we moved to a couple of different apartments. We settled at an apartment that was the last one before they moved to the suburbs. It was rough, moving around and making new friendships.
Yeah.
You know how it is with children.
Terrible. It's like, I'm like nobody's friend.
I know.
I'm just
It
this new person all the time.
Yeah, it was challenging, but so we moved to the school. I went to Scammon School in Chicago. It was right during the era when the schools in Chicago started busing Black children from the west side that we had been before,
Oh,
and the south side to the northwest side.
amazing. So
It was
that's
it was hard.
that.
It was, oh my God, Katie. Oh,
I,
it was. They weren't wanted,
yeah.
and I lived in the neighborhood, and I would walk to school, and the buses, you would see them roll in. When I say they weren't wanted, I wanted them. I'm
I
just
know,
saying.
I totally know with it, like
You
all the
understand?
other kids.
It was so hard to see. The children would cower on the bus because
Aw.
parents and kids would throw rocks at the bus as the buses.
The parents too? Oh my God. Oh my God. And you're just a bystander in all of this. And it must have been
I'm a
like
bystander, but
you're like both. You're walking the tightrope.
and when those buses
Like,
go back home at night, they want to take it out on somebody, and I became that somebody.
oh no. The other kids, you mean?
The other kids, yeah, definitely. The parents weren't. There was, I reached out into Facebook has all these wonderful groups,
Yeah.
and I went to look for one of my friends, and some really kind students reached out to me and said we were really racist and unkind to you.
That's so, I mean, at least
It was affirming.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes late, but better than not.
Yes.
You know
Yes,
what I
Katie.
mean? I mean, I so feel you right now. You know why? Because Becky, like, no one's ever apologized for what they did to me either. Like, not to this day. So it's like,
How do you forgive without an apology?
it's okay. Wait, let's talk about that for a second. I know we have so much to talk about, but let's talk about forgiveness. I'll just like talk to you about like my thinking. I want to hear yours next. So like everyone all the time, I'm on all these stages, consistently a question I get at the end of the lecture is, Katie, did you ever forgive your rapist? I'm like, what do you mean by forgive? Like, he never said he was sorry. If he had said he was sorry, would I have believed him? Am I supposed to be like, I'm all better, God, I'm all set? Like, I believe in you, you'll take the pain. Like, I just think forgiveness is about an internal process. And, it's just like if I continually build up hate and anger, I solve nothing. So it doesn't have to do with the other person. Like harm is harm is harm. There are bazillions of people who do harm. Some of them are really close to us and we want them to like, oh my God, it's my parent. Like, what the heck? You know what I mean? So I just think forgiveness has to do with one's own processing and saying like, I'm going to be okay. And I can start to choose all the other things I put around me. I don't know. What do you think?
Actually, Katie, I think we are on the same. I mean, I've been harboring anger and resentment for 40 years. That's a long time to be angry with some, people. And there were two people specifically I was angry with, and they probably weren't even thinking about me, Katie.
I know, like we're wasting our time. We're caring about something they don't care about.
Right.
It's like, so I think, and then it ends up eating us and not them. Like, let it go eat them up.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you get it though.
Yeah.
It really is an internal thing. When I've heard that forgiveness is for, and I don't ever want to, I hate saying that I'm a victim, but forgiveness is for you. How about that? Forgiveness is for
That's good.
you.
I like it. I like it. We can leave it there.
There we go.
It's your choice. It's your thing, but hate has no place, right? Like it solves
Exactly.
nothing. It's like I say silence solves nothing. Hate solves nothing. Action solves everything. You know, I'm just saying, like action can actually change stuff. So there we are. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so I can't even, honestly, I wouldn't even be able to be anywhere close to what you were going through. So that was high school and middle school. All of that was happening around the same time, because you said 8 when you moved, so it must have started from there.
So middle school was rough in terms of I was beaten up. My parents are gone, and my dad was an alcoholic, and my mom, she had some issues. She had her own thing, and I forgive her now, but she had her own stuff. But there were a couple of times that she had to pick me up from Belmont Hospital in Chicago with shoe imprints on my face. I used to hide between buildings to get to school. I don't know how my sister she didn't have that same, I guess it's because I was the older one, which is good. I didn't want her to be hurt. But I found places to hide, to maneuver my way to get to school. It was like a maze. Yeah. So that happened, and I was developing anger. I could, who wouldn't develop anger towards people that were beating you up because of the color of my skin? And you see me, I'm really fair, but I'm Black. I was different than the white children. And when they reached out to me in the Facebook group apologizing, because I thought it was all in my mind, I said, maybe I did something to deserve that. But they said, we were so mean to you. And it's okay. That part is over. But after I graduated, I started having some issues, Katie. I was acting out. My parents, they did a lot of sexual things in front of us. And I equated sex with love.
Gotcha.
Okay. So the first year of high school, I went to an all-girls school that I got kicked out of because I was just acting out. I was really, really smart. I wanted to be just a good girl who had good parents, but I guess I was looking for attention by acting out. I wasn't getting it by being a good girl, so I acted out and got thrown out of school.
Was it a Catholic school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're so strict.
They were. I wrote in my book.
Had like mascara and lipstick on. It's like, oh my God, she's acting up. She's liking her skirt. She's like got her socks too low.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for the paddle.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I know. And our listeners are all different ages. So some of them might have gone to school, in the 70s and 80s, and some of them are they're still the same. Like those Catholic schools, it's set in stone still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hear you. So but that still costs money. Your parents could get you into the girls' school?
No, from what I understand,
maybe.
My grandparents, I believe, which was one of the. I had a lot of animosity towards them, and I didn't know. But to look back now that they did that, they were probably hoping that I would turn out okay because.
Was it your grandparents on your mom or your dad?
On my mom's side.
Yeah. Okay. And just to refresh, like, so mom is white, dad is black, or did I mix that up?
Correct.
Okay.
No, you had it exactly right, Katie.
All right. All right. So now you're kicked out, and then there's the public school. And is that where the busing is going on?
No, so what happened, I believe, after I get kicked out of the one high school, I go to a different high school, and then I think I was getting in trouble there. I can't. My memory's a little odd, but I know that
You're just rousing. Period.
yeah.
Well, just for like, what kinds of things? I'm just imagining a million things right now. Can you give me one example that we're like, okay, it's Becky again?
Yeah. Oh God.
Like one kind of example.
Oh, big time. Well, I would stay out all night. I would run away. There were no rules, and believe it or not, I wanted rules, Katie.
Oh gosh.
I wanted rules so badly. There were just so many things. I wouldn't show up. I would ditch because they just weren't that. They just weren't that into me. Sorry.
Are you talking about your parents?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but I know at home I did some things to my dad. I'd put snakes in his bed, like garden snakes.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
Pretty devilish.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, and I remember. Oh, I remember. Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
I'm going to. I remember. This might have been like right around 8th grade, or I remember this little boy. He was riding his bike around the neighborhood, and I would sit on the stoop on the stairs and watch him. And he'd yell out every time he'd pass me. I hate to say this word, but it was the truth. He'd nigger, nigger.
Oh God!
But I had developed this hobby of throwing rocks, Katie.
A hobby or a talent?
One might say. Anyway, he kept riding around, and he kept calling me the name, and I didn't realize I was storing anger at such a even,
like,
oh my God,
bottling it up.
Yeah. Oh, it had been bottled yeah. So I guess I aimed, and I really got him at the back of his head. And
did you kill him? No. I'm ready for that. And then he died.
Yeah, no. Thank God he's alive.
Right.
But I got what we called a whooping. My dad had to take me out on the back steps and make an example of me with an extension cord. So that was that. So I was developing anger from I was developing anger from the age of 5. I remember my stomach would hurt, and that was when I knew I was getting angry, or stressed. But there were things that I was acting out. The rock was one, and so I knew I was angry. I knew I could act out. And when I'd been kicked, I think I was kicked out of Schurz High School, and when I landed at Calvin Park High School, Katie, was when all hell broke loose.
Okay. And that was in 10th grade?
That was, yes. I was 13. I graduated. I believe it or not. Pardon me?
Wait, you're brilliant. You must have skipped a grade.
I did. I don't know how I did that between the rock throwing and building diving, but
yeah.
But I landed at the school, and it was different for me because here I was at a predominantly white school with Black children being bussed in, and Calvin Park was pretty diverse. There's a movie about about what happened to me, and they make the school all white.
Okay.
They like homogenized the movie, but it wasn't that way. Mm-hmm. So when I landed there, I was scared. I was alone. I didn't have any friends there because they were all at schools. They hadn't gotten kicked out.
Right.
So they couldn't, and some things started to happen, Katie.
Okay. What?
Do you want me to proceed?
Oh my gosh. Well, we've been waiting for this on the cliff, so we're ready.
I love you, Katie.
Yeah, cliffhanger. Let's go.
Let's just dive in. So I get to Calvin Park High School, and there was I was used to people. There was something about me that bugged people, or children are just cruel. But there was one girl, she had an eye on me, and she wanted to beat me up. And she was always telling me, after school, I'm going to look for you. So I always tried to find a way. But one day, there was I was going to call him a gentleman. He's definitely not a gentleman. There was a boy, an older boy. He came up to me and he said, he introduced himself and said, his name was Daryl. And he said he liked me, and I was flattered. I had learned I was sexually active. So I was flattered. I was 13, and I thought, it's cool. This is a senior. He was a senior.
Oh my gosh. No, that's okay. I'm still with you. I dated a senior when I was in 9th grade. We're all good. Although I did not sleep with him, but no judge.
Yeah, no, I just
knew what sex was, so we're all good.
I wish I didn't. Oh my
That's
goodness.
Okay. We all grew up with all these things, so
yes.
But at least I had a senior boyfriend, so I can keep up with you.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So Daryl and I had a relationship. I'm not sure it was a relationship, but he told me to meet him after school, and he drove me back to the west side of Chicago where he lived. And on that first occasion, unfortunately, we had, sexual intercourse. I thought it was his way of saying he loved me, Katie, because at that point, nobody loved me. Right. And I used to pray to God every night, like, why am I here? I'm getting beaten up every day. Or, I don't know. I just understood. I equated sex with love, Katie.
That makes total sense, though. I just want to honor that, because it's okay. It's what you know. It's what you see. It's what you're taught. And there's, that's the only way as a child that you're going to understand that. Like, some people, like, it's physical touch. Like, some people, it's like money means this, and, all the things, we don't know except for what we're taught, right? Well, let's just say one thing, since you and I are in our 50s. Like, I just think the generation now, at least if it's good or bad or evil, at least they can look online for stuff. Right? Expand what their understanding of, they do this, they do that. If they know to even look, right?
Right.
They might not go look at that stuff. And there's still osmosis. They're still taking in whatever they're seeing, and they're like 24/7. So I hear you.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me.
Maybe they're smarter than me because they don't.
No. I'm not even thinking that. Becky, I'm not even worried. Like, you're clearly, like, have a million things, and you're thoughtful, and you're, like, taking it in and trying to apply it to life. And so Daryl takes you off. There's sex. You think he's loving you. He's probably 18, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's funny because I was just looking up his record a minute ago to just verify. Yeah, believe it. But so he took me home after that first incident. It was after that first encounter. He drove me home, and then he looked at my house and he said, "This is where your family, your mom and dad live?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay." He said, "I need you to be at school. Come to school tomorrow or come to school the next day. It's been a while." And I said, "Okay." So the next day I went to school. I don't think he showed up. I think he had his own schedule. Like, Dr. Moffat had some type of arrangement with him.
Okay. Who's Dr. Moffat?
Dr. Moffat was the principal of Calvin Park High School.
Okay.
He, at one time, Katie, was the second person in charge of the Chicago public schools.
Like all of them? Like the superintendent over all of them? Oh my gosh. So he at one time, like after this or before this?
Before this,
Oh.
I feel like I'm brain spotting right now because I just got chills. My body's processing things. Before this happened to me, Dr. Moffat was second in charge of the Chicago public schools, grammar schools, high schools for the city of Chicago. He was demoted, Katie, because he was accused. Teachers were accusing him, Dr. Moffat, of sexually harassing them.
Okay.
So they put him in a candy store.
Oh my God. Right. Pass the buck. Back down. Oh no.
But he was so powerful
Right.
that they gave him another job.
Mm-hmm.
They just removed the situation, but they didn't really. They
just changed the environment.
They changed his age range of victims, or they gave him a better selection, I suppose.
Right.
I know that's awful, but it's the truth.
No, it's like the fishing pond just changed. Yeah. He went to a different pond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the day that Daryl did come to school, I was walking through the hallway, and I'd seen this woman who has been threatening me at this new school.
Right.
And then she has some type of relationship with Daryl, but I don't know the specifics. So Daryl sees me and then comes to me, and then he says, "Come, I want you to come with me." Calvin Park High School is a very unique high school. There's even rumors that there were like hallways underneath the school that had like Al Capone hallways.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I said, "What are we doing?" And Daryl said, "Just come with me." So we go and walk, and we're standing underneath a like a second floor landing. You can see upstairs people like gathering, but it's this man with bifocal eyeglasses, and he's looking down at me, and Daryl takes my chin and points me up, my face up, and that I didn't realize that was Dr. James Moffat. He then smiled at Daryl, and Daryl let go of my chin and then said, "You can go back. I'll see you after school." After school came, Katie. Go ahead.
No, I'm just like, my jaw's dropping. Go ahead. You go.
Brace yourself.
I'm doing okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm with you. You're with me. We're together.
Yeah, we're right here.
So after school came, and Daryl drove me back to that house on the west side. And there were these boys, young men, probably around his age. And he told me, I sat on the couch when I got in the house, and then Daryl said, "Take off your clothes." And I said, "No." And he said, "Take off your clothes." And I didn't want to. And then I ended up kneeling on the ground. I don't know if he pushed me or yanked me, but he pulled my pants off, and his 3 to 4 friends raped me.
Mm. Daryl's friends. Did they go to the same school?
I don't know where they were from.
Mm-hmm. Don't even know. Oh my God. I wonder, well, oh my God. First, oh my gosh.
And then afterwards, Katie, I got up, or he told me to get up, and I tried to go clean myself off, and I was crying. And I thought I would just sneak out of the house. And instead of that, Daryl said, "Where are you going?" And I said, I don't remember exactly, but he grabbed me by my neck and pulled me up off the ground, and he punched me in the stomach, and then he choked me a lot. And I know I had something on my eye, but I was just, I think that day part of me died. Part of me died that day.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I went home and I sat down, and I just was dumbfounded. And then Daryl said, oh, he drove me home. He told me, before I left, he said, don't ever try that again. He drove me home and he said, is this where your parents live? I said, you asked me. He said, I just want to know, is this where they live? Kitty, my parents did the best they could, but they were neglectful. In my book, they left us for 2 days, and they were neglectful, but I loved them, and I would protect them I would have done anything so nobody would hurt them. Anyway, Daryl said, be to school tomorrow. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And after what had just happened, I did understand him. So I went to school, and I don't remember how everything went, but I think I was in the hallway, and Daryl said, I'm going to send a note for you, and you are to come out of class. And lo and behold, I was in a class, and a note came for me, and it said to go to Dr. Moffat's office. And I went to Dr. Moffat's office, and there was a receptionist there, and I sat down, and she told me to sit, and I sat down. And then she said, you can go in and see Dr. Moffat. He opened the door. Oh, I didn't realize that Daryl was already in there, Katie.
Mm.
And I don't know what was going on. My brain was still like a 13-year-old little girl's brain. I was trying to figure out what was going on. But Dr. Moffat closed the door, and Daryl said, Dr. Moffat is going to take care of your problem. Nobody's going to beat you up anymore. And I looked at him, and I didn't understand what was going on. But after what had happened with Daryl's friends, I didn't know. I was halfway dead inside. So I said, Dr. Moffat told me to sit down on the couch, if I remember, or Daryl. And I sat down, and Daryl said, Dr. Moffat promises to help you so you don't get beat up by this person. And he said, take off your clothes. And I said, I don't want to. And he said, Dr. Moffat said, you could go into the closet to do it. You could go into the closet. And there was this really strange, like, utility closet. I didn't know, but I walked in there slowly, and I just thought to myself, I just have nothing. I may as well just be dead. So I looked around, and I finally just took out my clothes, and I walked out of the closet, and Daryl and Dr. Moffat were doing something sexual. I wasn't sure what it was. But then Dr. Moffat put his mouth on my private parts, because Daryl told me to lean over, and I don't remember everything he did to me, but he shouldn't have done it to a 13-year-old little girl.
Of course not, Becky. Of course not. And you don't have to go through every detail. I mean, gosh darn, this is so unbelievably disgusting and hard. And
But you know what, Katie?
yeah,
I waited 40 years to tell my out.
the whole thing.
Not, I won't. We don't need to go into everything, but you just need to understand.
Yeah.
For 40 years, 43 years, I have felt my body is disgusting because of what he did to me.
Of course.
So when we got out of there and I walked out, I think I went home. I went home and sat down and just did what I always do, is look in the mirror and ask God why he hated me so much, for me, why he hated me. So in the next week, I was accosted in the girls' washroom by that girl I was afraid of. I call her Crazy Eyes. And I don't know if she stabbed me or what, but I ended up screaming bloody murder. Somebody came to the bathroom, and I ran into Dr. Moffat's office, and the receptionist said he wasn't there. He was in a meeting, blah, 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 blah. He came out, and I was bleeding, and I ended up leaving that school and hoping to leave what happened behind me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd been so damaged, Katie, that during the months after that happened, I was falling lower and lower. My grandfather died, and I was losing it mentally, and I was getting I was out there. I ended up meeting some people on the west side of Chicago again and hanging out with them at the park. By now, I'm probably close to 14. And in the end, what happened was I ended up going with someone who I didn't know was a pimp for adult women. And what transpired after that was basically like what's going on with Russia and Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
a pimp takeover. One pimp stole me away from the first pimp because he had a woman, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
She was the decoy to get me to go to him. And I didn't realize women,
Could do.
how does that?
Right. It's terrible. It's yeah, you wonder, sometimes you think the women will stick by you, and sometimes they're the biggest traitors and haters, you know?
This Epstein thing that's going on
I
right now,
know.
it's dropping, it's killing me every day that I hear the name. And it's because Dr. James Moffat was Chicago's version of
Excellent. Yeah.
Epstein,
Mhm.
and gives, yes. So anyway, so I was on the streets, and I was really messed up. I was on the news. They were looking for me. I didn't know they were. And finally I got caught. And I ended up in the Children's Lakeshore Hospital. I needed to be checked over. I'd
Mhm.
done some things on the streets. To this day, I'm still working through them with the help of a woman who has just been she has helped me heal by processing all of the traumas, Katie.
Good. Is she a therapist, or like she's a
She is
counselor?
a therapist. She's a
Okay.
therapist that specializes. What I needed her for was brain spotting. And
Mhm.
I call her the voodoo queen because,
Okay.
yeah, I do. One of the chapters,
Yeah.
yeah, one of the chapters in my book I wrote is called Voodoo Queen because, I mean, she's gorgeous. Her name is Jan Spangler. She's out of Wausau, Wisconsin. But she's gorgeous, but she helped me heal. And because I was holding on to so much anger. Let me backtrack just a wee bit. After they caught me, and I ended up going to Chicago Lakeshore Hospital, which is supposedly like a rehabilitation place for teenagers with severe
Mhm.
problems. and in my book, I develop a crush on a guy who he's in a coma. He's a walking coma. He did something called Happy Stick. He's my type of man. He doesn't talk. He just. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He didn't talk.
All right.
He didn't go in my world.
Okay, that's all good.
Yeah, but I stayed in there 6 months. 3 months is the average, but I believe my mom forgot to pick me up on the. Anyway, they had 3 meals a day, and I wasn't used to having food. Food was not something that came easy at my house.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I went 6 months staying there. I went home with my mom, and she tried to hug me. And because I hadn't had that from her, I flinched and I ran away again. Are you ready for where I ran away to, Katie?
I'm ready.
Are you hanging by the cliff?
Yeah, what's next? What's next?
I ran away back to Chicago Lakeshore Hospital.
Okay. That's a safe place.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So in the end, I ended up having to go home. There were some crazy things that happened before, like my book starts with me. There's a lot of things that the book is about 10% of sexual assault. The other stuff is the crazy stuff that happened with my mom and dad, and the stuff that happened after the assault, the person I became, the friendships I lost, the planes I deboarded because of my drinking.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's spend like the last 5 to 10 minutes on a couple. I've thought of a million things, Becky, but I have some good ones. I hope.
Bring it, Katie.
Yeah, I mean, you've given a ton and you've been through a bazillion things. But some of the things that really struck me as you were talking, you've been such a good survivor mode person. Like, you know how to shut things out and also to deal with the rage. Like you've been through so much, and it's racism, it's sexism, it's pimping, it's all the things, right? And so there's a lot to be angry about. Yet, we're on the screen together now. So I guess one of the things, what I like is, I guess I'll say it very clearly here. The anger is so good because a lot of survivors, victims, they don't think they deserve to be angry. And one of the things I loved every time you kept saying I was angry, and that to be a thing you're allowed to feel and allowed to throw rocks and do snakes and like retribution. Yeah, so I like that you acknowledge your anger and you find these creative ways to exercise it. I guess, now that all of these years have passed, anger doesn't just like go away. Like I think you even said, that the feelings don't just disappear. So where do you put the anger, since you have acknowledged it and it just seems to always be a little bit there under the surface? And maybe
it was more than a little. I've gone to jail, Katie, because of my anger, throwing things. Just this year with Jan did I work on because I was holding people accountable, the city of Chicago, because Dr. Moffat served very little time. Mm-hmm. He was removed from the city of Chicago's sexual predators list because he was friends with Ann Burke. She went on to become the head of Department of Children and Family Services, yet she represented a child molester. When I went to court, she invited me to lunch with Dr. Moffat.
What?
I went to court, yeah. So my anger, but it wasn't serving me. God, I'm processing now. It wasn't serving me because anger is a very good survival tool, as you
Yeah.
said.
Yep.
But I've got a wonderful husband. There's nothing for me. Those things happen, but I hadn't processed them.
Yeah, but
What do you?
but Becky, now I'm like remembering the part about the Doberman. Like you have like, hello, you. Becky, you have a Doberman. Like that's the scariest dog of all time. Right? I'm just saying, there's something there, Becky. You like to live on the edge, the cliff. Like
Yeah.
Tiger's going to be. If I'm not going to get you. My Doberman's going to get you. Like I think you've got a backup plan for your backup plan, my dear.
Right.
I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
I just maybe like I think the next thing for you needs to be another anger thing. Like get it all out. Like you're gonna need to do
Oh
some,
no, Katie,
no,
you should meet. You
punching,
should
some
ever.
boxing. I want you to see MMA. Let's go.
I became the person that would stop if I saw somebody getting beaten up or mugged. I stopped.
See,
But
you're a superhero now.
yeah, but my journey now, Katie, with this book coming out, which is great. I think the book is great, but what I want to do is
Yeah,
talk to
what do I want
children.
to do for you? What are you doing for you?
Oh, for me. Well, I'm in school. I've got a degree, or I'm
It doesn't sound like patient enough for you.
I just want to help these. I know of a story right now, and I can't disclose much, but
Mhm.
I want to help women or men or young men who are afraid to tell what's happening to them or who are being bullied.
Okay.
And I want to give them hope because I went through over 30, close to 35 therapists, that if they're willing to give it a little time and not give up, because Katie, I wanted to kill myself with all of the disgust I felt for myself because of all that had happened and all the articles that they took. They scrubbed the files so that nobody could find that, like Dr. Moffat looked like an angel.
Mhm.
So I want to help people like me who felt alone, and I will.
I know you will. I know you will. This is like one big powerful step. I just, I like thinking about you being powerful and using that anger to fuel everything. It's really good. And anger is a really powerful emotion because if you can steer it toward that change, it's going to work. I mean, I was just looking, just as a reference point, I was looking at my own website. Like I have so many people who are helping me do all these things. It's so good. I'm like, I haven't even seen half the stuff. I definitely don't have time to do all the social, but they were showing me the picture of me when I was like 20 on the mall in DC when Nicole Brown Simpson was raped and murdered by, so I was one of the youngest speakers, maybe the youngest at that whole 250,000 people. And there's this picture of me. I was a raging, like, so I'm like in the picture wearing this like nice suit, trying to look old and fancy. I'm like 20 with no money. I even remember buying it, trying to think, oh, this will look so good. And I'm up there doing like this, like yelling at 250,000 people.
Wow, Katie.
No, it's all good. It's like, I think I'll simmer it down. But, just let me
Did it simmer for you?
What? Did what?
Did it simmer? How did you handle
Good question.
anger?
Yeah, I think everyone has. I think there's a little bit of righteousness that I had because, like, my people might know, or maybe they don't, but I was Miss Goody Goody. Like, I was the daughter of an FBI agent. So Christian. Like, it was the lane, and you stuck in it, and then the rape, right? So all of a sudden, I'm like, why was I being good when I'm just smited by God? Like, so I'm like, what's up with you? Like, I'm doing all the right stuff. So do you hate on me? Yeah. And so I really took it with a sense of righteousness, but I tried to use writing, like policies and laws and debate, like I debated my vice president of student affairs when I was 18 years old on national television on Larry King. So I think for me, like we're a lot alike with the anger part, but I think it's just like how we figure out about what to do with it. And so I love that I don't love that you've been to jail. I love that you will break the law. So for our listeners, like I think the difference is, Becky is getting there for sure. You are getting where you need to go, right?
Oh my God, yes.
You're totally doing it. And so, for our listeners, like I hope you'll listen to the two of us and be fired up and be self-righteous and be angry. And the thing I would just give us all is don't break the law, fight the law. Right? If you don't like the law, then you fight to change it, and you fight to have the credibility to be heard to change it. And I think you've got all that, Becky, and who cares when you came to it? You've got it now.
I do.
Yeah. So let's go. I can't wait for the next thing.
Yes, definitely.
By the time we release this, there'll be more story of yours. And I think that's where I would put the anger. Like some of I'm sure our listeners, it's like, oh, I can't be angry. I'll numb it out. I'll pierce it out. I'll tear it out. I'll pray it out. Like, I think there's a lot of things to do to get rid of like difficult stuff, but the best ones are the ones that, it's like you can self-soothe, but the better ones are the ones you take out and give to everybody else. Like you just said, like you're going to give back to the boys, the girls, like all the bullied. You're going to take the bullied and make sure they don't become the bully. And that's breaking the chain. And that's what you're doing. That's so fantastic.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I've got a new chapter, Katie, and thank you.
I'm right here. Like, this is what the podcast I love is about. It's about like listening and getting to know each and every one of our guests and like thinking where you are right now and what you're going to do next and where you came from. It's the whole thing. And
I'm excited today. I live each day gratefully.
Well, all right, just don't let me near the Doberman. Let me near the ducks, not the Doberman. I'll take the ducks, not the Doberman.
Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, of course, my goodness. Well, what's the name of the book so we can all look for it and tell us like two things we'll get out of it before we close.
The book is called Anger, Alcohol,
it's called Anger. Dumb me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
That's okay. No, there's anger, alcohol, and healing through Brainspotting. Two things out of the book. I'll give you two that a parent can see signs in this book of what their a child that may be being abused might exhibit. There are also some funny things in there. I have a way of handling things with with humor, rather. There is a point after, there's a lot of humor. I won't go too much, but it involves somebody getting stabbed in the buttocks by me.
Okay. We'll read more.
Yep. So that I will leave you with that. It's funny, but it let me heal, and maybe it will help someone else heal and see they're not alone in their anger, but not to live in it, not to stay stuck in it. It's a survivor skill, but don't stay there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you, Katie.
Oh, thank you for being an amazing, powerful guest, Becky. We've enjoyed every second. And for our listeners, wow. Come on, get that journal out. You were scribbling madly. And we will put up in show notes, of course, more about Becky's book. And then stay tuned. I know there's going to be more to come. Again, like for all of our listeners, like, please continue on. You'll meet a new guest every week. Don't forget about all the great ways to get involved with Take Back the Night. Be a powerful person at a rally, a speak out, a march, a vigil. Be part of our global virtual every April. We have so many ways for you to get involved and thrive, not just survive. So take care until next week.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you for having me on.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Dear Katie. These conversations are never easy, but they're always necessary, and we're so grateful you chose to share this space with us. If something in today's episode stirred something within you, please give yourself what you need. Whether that's rest, support, or just a deep breath, you're not alone. To hear more stories, resources, and survivor-centered conversations, be sure to subscribe and follow us on your favorite podcast platform. We want to hear from you, so please leave us a review and share your feedback. Your thoughts help us create episodes that resonate with listeners. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.